In my first video, you will see how an unusual depiction of the Death of the Virgin has many unusual Van Gogh characteristics. The Death of the Virgin is an expressionist work which has parallels with still life with drawing board and onions, an innovative work, the birth of expressionism. Vincent has selected his motives to show us his state of mind. A still life portrait, if you like. The motives are straightforward and easily understood. And here, the overlarge sun represents God. He's sending a message to his brother after a period of illness, and the letter shows a resumption of correspondence. The onions, the self-help medical book, coupled with the teapot and an empty absinthe bottle, tell us that Vincent intends to pull himself together and lead a healthy lifestyle. By the repetition of these health motives, Vincent is making his message clear. It is worth repeating that this work is original in direction. Vincent is the originator or father of Expressionism. However, this art form evolved rapidly. The Expressionist message in The Death of the Virgin is delivered with the same straightforward use of repeated motives. And do not be misled by an initial impression of this work. This is the product of a highly intelligent, innovative artist undergoing severe psychotic episodes. The artist has cleverly subverted the message of this biblical scene. So first we look at the traditional motives we would expect to find in versions of Death of the Virgin. Religious books and scrolls symbolizing the Word of God. The bed canopy denotes a halo. The blue of the bed and curtains symbolizes the Virgin. And traditionally, in the Death of the Virgin, the offered candle shows the light of God. The spectacles. Specific to the Death of the Virgin, this optical symbolism has been used since the end of the 15th century. The symbolism is to see the Word of God. Now we examine the expressionist motives, revealing religious conflicts and doubt. Now the doubts are clear and repeated. A materia medica is placed on top of and supersedes a Bible. This message is clear. The disciples are usurping the Word of God and turning to a modern book of science and healing for the ailing virgin. Now this use of the juxtaposition of book titles is unique to Van Gogh. In Still Life with Bible, we see again the relegation of the Bible by this strategic placing of Zola's Joy de Vivre. Astonishingly, this use of books is unique to Van Gogh. Books normally just symbolize human knowledge. Vincent's use is far more sophisticated and not to be found anywhere else in fine art. In Still Life with Drawing Boards and Onions, we see Manuel Añoer de la Sante. This is the only non-fiction book depicted by Van Gogh. This is a home remedy book showing the use of plants and natural ingredients to cure common ailments. Now, Materia Medica is the standard work on health, giving properties of plants. The two books would be on the same shelf in a library. Next, we look at the candle. It is unlit, so the original meaning is reversed. It now denotes a loss of faith. Van Gogh used an unlit candle in Still Life with Bible. Now, this is the John gesture taken from the Last Supper. The artist again shows us his knowledge of art by the elongated index finger and the palm, which has to face inwards, which is the correct way to depict this motive. So, contrary to the previous motives, we have one here affirming God. So the conflict is becoming evident. But here's another doubt. The Bandish Finger. Now, this is a unique motive. What can it mean? It shows the conflict. This hand, the left hand, is unable to affirm the John gesture. I mean, how clever is that? And here we see a hand using similar brushwork. It is difficult not to draw the conclusion that this conflicted figure is a symbolic reference to the artist himself. And look at the figure with his back towards us. He is opposing, with neither face or hands, a demon or a devil. The people I see are entirely different from what they are in reality. In Vincent's straightforward use of motives, we see his conflicts. The doubts portrayed by the unlit candle, the materia medica, the demonic figure and the bandaged finger. But he affirms God with the John gesture and by holding off the demon. There is one more motive staring us in the face. The Death of the Virgin is a story of doubting Thomas, the perfect work to portray religious doubt. And the artist shows us his knowledge of the Bible. We have the correct number of disciples, 11. Thomas was late. The bare feet are a reference to the Caravaggio version of this work, a work which was rejected. Now, the elephant in the room, the bearded woman in the bed wearing the atifay. Remarkably, this motive links the work to Van Gogh. Now, Vincent was infatuated with Marie Genou. He even returned to Arles from the asylum to visit her, and he consecutively painted 5 portraits of her whilst in the asylum, and we see representations of her as figures in others' works. Tellingly, on the 2nd of May, having completed The Death of the Virgin and just recovered from the 2 months of illness, he wrote that if he had Marie Genou as a model, he would use her for a larger version of the raising of Lazarus. 6 weeks after his illness, he admits in a letter to Gauguin that 1 month of the illness could be ascribed to Marie Genou. Undoubtedly, she was the subject of his fevered mind during this period of nightmares and hallucinations. And before his illness, he visited Marie Genou, and he was shocked by her appearance. And he wrote, "I'm a little anxious about a friend who it seems is still ill, and whom I should like to see. She is the one whose portrait I did in yellow and black, and she has changed very much. She has nervous attacks, complicated by a premature change of life. In short, very painful. She looked like an old grandfather the last time." Looked like an old grandfather. Undergoing the change of life, facial hair can be a consequence. So we have an intention to paint Marie Genou, an association of Marie Genou and 1 month of his illness, and Marie Genou looking like an old grandfather. And what do we have? A woman who looks like an old grandfather in the bed. And of course, an artist undergoing severe psychosis. An extraordinary chain of circumstances, yet completely logical and understandable. Is there a credible argument that any other artist could possibly have had such a reason for depicting the Virgin in this way? On its own, this extraordinary depiction is a powerful connection to Van Gogh. But combined with Van Gogh's stylistic and studio practice techniques and the methodical use of repeated personal motifs resulting in an expressionist still life portrait, this reveals a thought process unique, I believe, to Van Gogh. And the expressionist juxtaposition of book titles, again unique to Van Gogh. And we have a work emanating from a mentally afflicted artist torn apart by religious doubts, as was Van Gogh. I return to my original question. Do you know of such an interesting work in fine art? Using a little detective work, we have deciphered this painting. And make no mistake, this work is completely original in both concept and execution. We have the inimical straightforwardness of Van Gogh's style, which I believe has made him so popular. It enables everyone to read The Death of the Virgin, to understand and to empathise. The artist is speaking directly to us. Do you think this work, a work from an artist clearly undergoing mental psychosis, should be disregarded, probably because the first impression of the work is negative? Oh well. In my next video, we wind up some loose ends. We show the origins of the work. We show how The Death of the Virgin cannot be a forgery or fake. And in another video, we look at a pencil sketch hidden for 65 years in the frame of The Death of the Virgin. You may find that interesting. Thank you for watching.